Hey folks, happy 2017! I imagine that some of you are watching this video because you are hopefully planning a Camino for this year. Congratulations, welcome to the club. I'm not going back this year, but I figured I'd help you get started. I have a whole slew of other videos about the Camino de Santiago that you can watch if you want to learn more. Today I'm going to be talking about the best time of year, when to walk the Camino de Santiago. I have people ask me about this all of the time, and the truth is there's no right time or wrong time to walk the Camino. It can be done 12 months of the year. Obviously, most people do it between about the months of April and October. Anytime during that, you're going to find a lot of other people walking it with you. So I figured we could kind of break it down by season. I've done the Camino 3 times, and all 3 times I've actually done it in the spring, just because that's when it's been most convenient for me. Spring is a really popular time to start the Camino, especially if you're walking the whole route. Departures from Saint-Jean tend to peak around May and September, rather than in the summer, actually. More people complete the Camino in the summer because more people are walking shorter sections, but the most people who do the whole thing, sorry, I don't mind the plane. Most people who do the whole thing tend to start kind of more in the shoulder season. So in the spring, you're obviously going to get a much more mixed bag of weather. You can have rain, you can still have snow in some parts. The Pyrenees can be impassable if you're starting too early and you'll have to take a different route, which is fine. They'll tell you when you get there whether or not you should attempt to go over the Pyrenees or around. Spring is really lovely because everything is green, flowers are out, all the albergues should be open by this time. You will have to come prepared to deal with varied conditions though. You'll want to have clothing warm enough because it's going to get cold at night, but also bring sunscreen because I got sunburnt and went through snow within like the same week on the Camino, depending on what elevation you're at. For all seasons except the summer, I would definitely recommend waterproof gear. Waterproof shoes especially will be necessary if you're not walking in the summer. Even if you are walking in the summer, you might want to consider it. For the summer, temperatures can get really warm. People will tend to walk earlier in the day to avoid walking in the heat. It can get very busy on the Camino in the summer. This may be when you're most likely to have to book ahead for hostels, particularly the last week or so. It's going to be very, very busy. Still bring some warmer layers because it can still get cold in the evenings. Drink lots of water and be prepared for that. By midsummer, the green of the field starts to be replaced with the brown. You start to get a lot more sunflowers rather than like the beautiful spring flowers that you got in, say, May. Come the fall, the crops are starting to be harvested, and once again, you're looking over a lot of gold. Fall seems like it would be a really lovely time to start walking as well. You might start with some hotter weather, and then get a little bit colder as you go on. So again, you have to be prepared to have both hot and cold weather, especially if you're walking the whole thing. 5 weeks, the weather can change a lot over the course of 5 weeks. A lot of people start in September as well. If you were to start in October, you'd be kind of catching the tail end of the popular season on the Camino. And then winter, you can walk in winter. I'm coming to you from Stanley Park here in Vancouver in January, and we actually have snow. Same with Spain. I know people think of Spain as a really hot country, unless you're walking in the south of Spain, walking, say, the Via de la Plata, you're probably going to see snow in the higher elevations, so you have to be prepared with gaiters. More heavy-duty boots would be needed in the winter, and you may need a little bit more planning ahead in terms of finding albergues that are open. Obviously, also, you'll be carrying more gear because you'll need a heavier sleeping bag, you'll need more layers, that sort of thing. So it does take a little bit more planning, but the payoff is that you have a lot more solitude on a path that is becoming rapidly more and more popular all the time. If I were to walk the Camino again, I would probably go in the winter because I personally would rather deal with harsher weather than lots and lots of crowds of people. So there you have it. I think I've pretty well covered everything. If you have any specific questions about like months or whatever you may want to ask me, you can ask me in the comments down below, and I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. Also, in the space just down below this video, I will list some statistics about when people come to Santiago, when people leave Saint-Jean, as well as kind of weather on the Camino, because I do get a lot of questions about that. And it's very hard for me to tell you exactly what the weather is going to be like in the week that you're starting the Camino. For any of you who have noticed, I'm sorry that I'm very, very inconsistent with making videos, but I do appreciate that you come back all the time and see what I'm up to. For those of you who are new to this or who are new to planning to the Camino, I'll link a playlist down below of my videos about the Camino. I've made a couple dozen at this point. So happy 2017, everyone. I hope that your adventures treat you well. I won't be going back to the Camino this year, but I am hoping to have a lot more adventures in my area of the world. I'm getting a lot more into kind of proper backpacking and wilderness exploration, things like that, more backcountry stuff. And I may share a little bit of that along as I go too. You will see. Take care, buen camino, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.